the students that are looking for a job, they need these three things. Confidence, it is communication, it is the competence. I think what is very important for the students is to focus not on a job, on the learning during those 4 years. The job will automatically follow. It is not about the job, it is about how they're going to grow and what are they going to do once they are in the job. A lot of fear in the market that what will recruiters do later on, but then I think that human touch is still important.
Hello everyone. We have a very special guest today. We have Pritesh from UBS. He has had 25 years plus experience overall into recruitment, into tech recruitment specifically. He's worked in Amazon, he's worked in EA Sports, he's worked in multiple other companies which are very, very renowned. Right now he's working in one of the biggest banks across the world. So really glad to have him today. And I'm sure all of you would learn a lot of insights from him out of his 25 years of recruiting experience. And let's start off. Hi Pritesh, thanks for dropping by today. Thank you so much. With your years of experience, I'm sure students will have a lot to learn. And what are important things that they should keep in mind if they're joining in college on day one? I want to understand what should they take care of during these next 4 years. Just to start off, if you can help us with the kind of journey you've had, the kind of experience you've had that led a lot of light.
Okay, so you want me to talk about my career journey?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So my career journey started way back, almost 24 years back. So it feels like Jurassic Park age right now, right? So almost in way back in 1998, when I just completed my graduation, I did my BCom. So I didn't score well in math, so I had to take BCom. So I did my graduation, was trying to figure out what I would be doing with my life while I was aiming towards Air Force and armed services and all those things. I joined a small firm at that point in time called Satyam Computers as a data entry operator out there in their corporate recruiting team. And that's where my journey in recruiting started, and till today I'm in recruiting over a period of like from 98 to 20. But during that period, one of my mentors or my first bosses, she mentioned to me that I should be hold a master's in business administration. So that's when I parallelly did my MBA. Then post Satyam Computers moved into Genpact or GE as a recruiter. From there, my actual journey of recruiting started. Then worked with several firms. Firms like Invensys, which is now called Schneider Electric, NCR Corporation, which is the inventor of ATM machines. And then with electronic arts, most of the students must be aware of the Need for Speed and those kind of games. Those are the games that I helped build out here in Hyderabad. Next, I worked with Epsilon and Byju's and Amazon, and now with UBS. So that's been my journey. I think the highlight of my journey has been the learnings. One, I didn't have the opportunity to kind of do, or rather didn't have the mentality to do an engineering course. But then I figured that education is really, really important. And getting an MBA was the turning point of my career. And I think post that, MBA just gave me the platform. Post that, I think where I am today is primarily because of the help that I've received from my mentors and my ability to learn from them. These are the two things that I think and then the biggest realization is that until you ask, you won't get. So that's the I think the students also have to kind of know that until they ask the doubts, they will not get clarity in what they are looking for.
So, I mean, throughout your journey, you have seen a lot of tech transform, a lot of requirements from people transform a lot, right? So, can you help us understand back in, say, 2000, what were you looking at in while you were hiring, and how it has transformed to now? I mean, it has seen n number of technologies change, probably Java, Python, React, and then now we're talking about AI. How has the technical recruitment transformed over this 20-25 odd years?
It's a great question because recruiting has transformed along with the industry, right? So when I started off, we were still looking at hard copies of CVs. We were still working on floppy disks. 2 CVs and then the floppy disk was full. That was the capacity, right? there was no email. On an email, if you send a Word document, it would kind of jam up the system. So that was how good or bad that system
Yeah,
was. So we
yeah.
relied on hard copies, take printouts, put in Excel sheets. That's how my journey started, and that's how I got my break, because my first job was to kind of put in the details of a CV in an Excel sheet. Uh, when and what helped me was that I knew MS Access back then, and I created a UI based system which basically helped recruiters put in the details quickly and access the details quickly. So that's how it started off. But then over a period of time, what I've seen is Naukri came into existence, Naukri.com came into existence, and it started sending CVs, downloadable CVs. It suddenly gave us access beyond newspaper ads to digital world, getting CVs from all over India to kind of getting people to move here. Um, Followed by ATS systems, which is primarily your applicant tracking systems, and which was primarily your database of profiles. Earlier, it was just a database of profiles. Now it is kind of combined from ATS into CRM tools. And from CRM, it has gone to relationship management, to, I think, evaluation tools. Started getting integrated into ATS, and now I think it is more or less like agentic AI or agentic recruitment, I can call it, because the first phase is not a recruiter; it is more or less like a bot right now, which
I
is
mean, interviews are also being done with
yes,
AI
yes.
bots.
It's still a little away from that. Its adoption is a little away, but then I think it eventually moved towards that direction.
I mean,
There is a lot of fear in the market that what will recruiters do later on, but then I think that human touch is still important.
yeah. So I remember one of the conversations we've had a couple of years back. You mentioned that you interviewed or probably hired more than 30,000 people in your
That's right.
entire career. So I just want you to throw some light on making people understand on what's important for today's market to catch a company like UBS, for that fact, to get into some company like UBS. What does it take for any candidate today?
See, I don't think that has changed. That is the one thing that has not changed. What is it that the candidate requires to get a job? Right? It is the competency, it is the communication skills, it is the confidence. Right? These are the three things, right from my father's time when he was looking for a job to what today the students that are looking for a job, they need these three things. I'll repeat again, it is confidence, it is communication, it is the competency. If these three things are there, I think anybody can crack any job. They need not be an IITN, they need not be, I would say, even an engineering grad. I'm not discouraging people from doing the engineering, but then uh, what they require is to build their competency, and automatically the other two things will follow. If they don't have communication, it's not about English, it's about talking in the language that they are comfortable with. So I think that has not changed over the last 2 decades that I've started working, right? But then what has changed is the knowledge of the technology piece. Earlier, I would say within the competency, the subgroups have changed. Earlier, it was C, C++ or VC++. Now, later on, it became .NET. Later on, it became Java and JavaScript. Now, it has become AI ML tools in CNN and KNN and all those models and all that kind of stuff. While these terminologies keep changing, the competency part of it, the human part of it, where they are learning these technologies, is very important. And companies, when they are hiring a fresher, they're not looking for an expert in a particular skill set, right? While they are looking for a few competencies, these competencies would be knowledge of these tools like Python, like some of the AI/ML, like OpenAI APIs and all that kind of stuff. So those things are important. But at the same time, it's not that you need to be an expert 10 out of 10 on that, right? So those things are very, very important. I think that has not changed. While the languages in which the students have trained themselves have changed over the past few years, but then I think building that competency piece is
Yeah.
not changed.
So, some of this you have already covered. You worked in one of the most aspirational companies across the world, right? People aspire to get into Amazon, and even for the people in IITs,
That's right. Yeah.
so-called intelligent people, it's very difficult to get into a company like that. From what I've known, I've been from IIT Kharagpur, so even in my batch, people aspire to get into Amazons and Googles of the world. So, I mean, just for a fresher today, for someone who is starting off BTech today, I just want you to throw some light on being aspirational in the first place, and what does it take? Is it really a thing, or what does it take to get into companies like Mang, Amazon's, Google's of the world?
So I don't think they should be targeting the company. They should be targeting the tech stack,
Hmm.
uh, because automatically the company will follow, will come searching for you
Hmm.
if you know if you're really good at your tech stack. I think the basics are very important. It's not about the tech stack even.
Hmm.
I think the basics of data structures, basics of algorithms,
Hmm.
those are very, very important.
Hmm.
DS and algo is the foundation of any student's success.
Hmm.
And like I said before, right? If a student is strong on the basics and the competency, the language will automatically follow. They will be able to kind of build on top of that.
Hmm.
So any, be it Amazon or any of the Mang companies, right, or Fang Mang companies as we call them, uh, these companies are not looking for a language expert. They are looking for data structures, algorithms experts. Somebody who has done a ton of work while being a student, explored some innovative stuff, done those things. I think instead of becoming an expert in a particular language, I think you should become an expert in data structures and algorithms more than anything else.
Yeah.
So those things uh, will not change,
Yeah,
irrespective
that's
of the
right.
company,
Yeah.
right? Irrespective of the language.
Hmm.
But at the same time, when you're aspiring for an organization, you're just preparing for that particular organization, and you're closing doors on a lot of other good stuff that is
Yeah,
happening.
that's right.
It's
Yes.
not that these are the only 4 good companies. The world is running on many good companies like UBS also. So yeah, I mean, I think what is important is building those basics. I keep coming back to that particular part.
Sure. Just an extension to this. Students today are like, they feel that market is too clumsy. At least the kind of information that they're getting. There's an Ivor saying that you learn AI and everything is everything is easy beyond that. You just focus on React. Everything is easy beyond that. So this question was asked by me, to me by thousands and thousands of students. Right. The same question that, let's say if I do something today, how would I be relevant at 4 years later or 3 years later? Technology is changing so much, jobs are going off. So, how should a student in first year think among all this chaos? How should he maneuver himself to get a good career?
So I think the student in first year shouldn't be bothered about what he's going to do 4 years down the line, because the market will not remain what it is today,
Yeah.
right? They should be bothered about picking up the knowledge that they can, as much as they can. Uh, One, they should again focus on continuous learning, not follow the crowd by learning one particular language, that is React. See, when I started my career, right, as I said, it was C and Unix.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? I don't know, half of the students wouldn't have even heard of Unix by now. Right? That was the big thing back then. That was like the be all and end all of computing. Now it is not even heard of.
Yeah.
Right? And today it is, people are talking about React and JavaScript and Angular and all kinds of stuff. Then OpenAI and Open APIs and Agentic AI and all. See, these are all jargons that will keep coming and going, right? But what will remain is the basics. Again, when I keep talking about it, I think what is very important for the students is to focus not on a job, on the learning during those 4 years. The job will automatically follow. If they are able to kind of represent themselves in the interview, the job will automatically come through, right? Whether it is a Fangman company or another big organization, right? It will come through. It is not about the job. It is about how they're going to grow and what are they going to do once they are in the job. I have seen students, for example, who wouldn't even able to write an Hello World program when they came in. They were selected into the company, because they had the basics, they had the communication skill, they had the willingness to learn. But then today they are project managers and project leaders and business leaders in some of the organizations, right? So that doesn't mean that if you don't know programming, you'll end up nowhere. I think parents also have to get out of that mindset that my child will be nowhere if he doesn't learn X or Y,
Yeah.
right? So as long as they are good at a particular area, get the basics right, get beyond a particular language, become language agnostics. I think the world is moving towards a polyglot programmer rather than a particular specialist in a particular area. So if the person knows a little bit of React, a little bit of Java, a little bit of Angular, a little bit of Azure and GCP and cloud, I mean on AWS and all those things, I think he'll be a good fit for any organization.
Yeah, that's right.
Employability is very important.
True.
If you are talking about and when I say employability, it is not about just one particular language, right? He has to be from a fitment to the organization. He may be a great programmer, but if his attitude is bad, he will not stick for even a day in the organization. So those things also, the softer skills play a big role in their growth.
So just on the attitude part, I hear a lot of TA leaders, a lot of HR leaders, a lot of CTOs telling that today's Gen Z are not being very so much aligned with the corporate world. Any take on that that you can put forward?
I think that's not right. It's been a generational problem, right? Every generation thinks their generation is best. I think my generation was the best. The current generation thinks their generation is the best. I think the access to information is much higher now.
Yeah.
Right? So people are able to, at my point in time, at my father's time, the access to information was only through newspapers or one or two Doordarshan channels. I don't know if half of the students have heard about Doordarshan, right? So now today, and my age, YouTube came up. Now YouTube is like a thing of past for most of the, apart from shorts, YouTube is following Insta now by creating shorts, right? So it's about Insta. The knowledge is being consumed through Insta, right? So those kind of things I think have changed the mindset of people. But at the same time, I still find a lot of 99% of the students or the Gen Zs or whatever Gen XYZs, whatever we call them, are more competent than before.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Right? They are more knowledgeable than before. What I was in my first year of graduation, I see I see my 13-year-old kid at that stage in terms of confidence, in terms of ability to talk and all those things, right? While they may not be, some of them are very reserved. They take pride in being introverts. Some of them are take pride in being a software programmer, being in their own shell. I think what is important is the the attitude. But I cannot blame the entire generation for 1% of the problem. Right? There are some entitled souls, and they were there every time. They were there every time. They were there in my teams also. I've seen people coming in Mercs to do a call center job. And then they were very entitled, right? So that is a different thing altogether. It is there everywhere. I think what is important is we should see the positive side of this current generation. They have access and a lot of energy.
I think that's okay. Most of them are pretty brilliant. I mean,
Yes.
we kind of I share a similar idea of what today's world is, and what you feel about people is what exactly I feel, right? But I won't be surprised if the next billion-dollar company comes from a 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely possible. I think it can come from this company itself. It can be this company, who knows? But the thing is, see, I think the current generation of managers need to relearn how to manage these.
That's right.
It's just that you cannot basically ask a fish to climb a tree. Simple as that, right? So if you're employing the same old division of work, Maslow's theories, and the ones that you learned 50 years back in an MBA college or a different college, those principles don't work today. Today's, I mean, it was, if you put it in a Maslow's theory, today's kids are already at the social needs or self-actualized state, right? So that is very different.
Yeah.
So you cannot employ the same tactics, carrot and stick tactics that were employed to us. You'll The current generation of managers has to change their mindset.
Yeah,
I think that is what is important.
Before we close, I just want to. I'm in the college right now in my first year. So, any suggestions for me on how my mindset should be? What are the things I should focus on, so that a 16-year-old kid understands?
I think stop wailing away time on games. I think the parents would love me for that. But then I think try to build something, right? Whether it is small or big, learn to build something rather than taking in information one way and putting it on your book or answering it on a question paper. Uh, Try and put it into implementation and see where it is wrong. Ask questions. Uh, think about what would happen if the same principle is applied in a different scenario, right? Those things are very, very important in today's world. um, Experiment, tinker around with. I think Nxtwave is providing a lot of I saw the lab, and I think a lot of tech stacks, I mean, a lot of opportunities are provided to students to tinker with stuff. Do that. I think what is important is use the opportunity to kind of break stuff and then rebuild it. It doesn't matter. I know Girish will hate me for that, but break stuff and then rebuild it and put it together again. I think you will be able to kind of learn a lot more things than in that.
Yeah.
The other part is don't just focus on the tech stuff of it, right? You will build it. You'll have 4 years of time. But then what you need to kind of focus on building is your confidence, your ability to present stuff. I think I would ask you all, the college, to kind of provide them opportunities to present, not just in the college but across the industry as well. Do some representation across industry, participate in competitions.
We're actually taking up things like hackathons, bringing them up right in the first year. Recently, we concluded a hackathon where we partnered with one of the government bodies in Telangana and ensured that we have lots and lots of participation with the AI tools, tinkering with them and creating something out of it. So we are also trying to do as much as possible. I mean, would love to hear inputs from you and implement.
Sure.
Many
So if
things.
you have, I would suggest the students take the industrial, if you have the industrial visits or whatever that is, right? Take it seriously. Don't treat it like a picnic, right? Don't treat it like a picnic where you go have chai biscuit and come back, right? It is more about working working with those leaders out there, working with the engineers on the other side, and understanding from them what is important and what is not, so that I think the path is very clear for them. Nxtwave is trying to kind of build a beautiful road for them, but then walking on that road is up to the students, right? But at the same time, if they are able to practice, build things, right, rather than just do the mundane short programs and all those things, I think it's more important for them to kind of build, get some real time work experience while they are doing it, while they are learning stuff, right? I think what that is what, and don't waste your time on unnecessary stuff which will not add value 4 years down the line, right? Who's going to remember which movie you've seen? Who's going to remember what points you've got in a game 5 years down the line when you're working? It doesn't matter at that point, right? What matters is what you've picked up during these 4 years. Use these 4 years, I think, to learn as much as you can that will last your lifetime, I think. And then don't stop learning at fourth year. I think the industry is moving so fast that even at 24 years of work experience, I still have to learn stuff.
That's right.
Right? I'm doing courses on Coursera for AI, understanding what AI is, right? I'm still trying to figure out my head around Excel sheets. So I think continuous learning mindset is very important for students going forward as well.
One of the things that we ensure that it's put in the curriculum or told in the curriculum is that we have a methodology to making people understand learning to learn, which is required for whether it's from a graduate of IIT or a normal college, anywhere. The learning to learn thought process is very, very important, is what we
Yes,
feel. And
yes.
we have always ensured that students learn this.
To each their own, right? I mean, one person is a visual learner, the other person is a audio
Yeah.
learner, right? And somebody will be able to remember things when they write it down.
Yeah.
So everybody has their own methodology to learn stuff. Find that mantra of yours, learn through that. Don't try to depend only on one way of learning. Explore that, and the bottom line is keep continue learning.
Yeah, sure.
Bottom line is to learn however you learn it. You learn it while sleeping. Some people used to joke that put a book under my pillow and then morning I'll learn everything. That's never, that's just a joke. But then few people are able to read and just in one go remember stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about remembering, it's about application. Right? So that's very important. And I think the next 4 years they should be focusing on learning to apply.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pritesh.
Thank
Any
you.
final words, if you have, you can.
I think I've said what I have to
Yeah.
say, but then again, I don't want to kind of brush up on that topic all over again. But then, what is important is utilize this opportunity to the maximum possible extent, right? The company is, the college is providing a lot of, I would say, opportunities for you to kind of learn and be better. Right, 4 years down the line, you should be able to look back and feel that you're completed a phase of your journey, not the journey at all. Right, a phase of your journey has completed, and then you're going on to a new phase, whether it's further education or work. I think what is important is that learning should never stop, and try to find people, the right people who can mentor you.
Yeah.
And surround yourself with the right people who will kind of encourage you to do better and be a better person. It's always surround yourself with the right kind of crowd.
Thank you so much, Pritesh. I'm so glad that you're here and
Thank you.
meeting you after a long time.
Yeah, it's been almost a year and a half now.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half. I think when we started last year, you had come in.
Yes.
Now we've grown.
I'm glad to see the growth. I've come to the other building and now you're in a newer building. I've come to the studio and this is a much better studio. So yeah, I mean, I think growth is, I mean, given the work that you guys are putting in, all of you, all the founders, I think there is lot more places for you to go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
Sure.
Pritesh.
Thank you.